She's not ready?
No,
You're not ready, girl? Oh, you're definitely not ready. Look at you, you're all tangled up here. What's up, everybody? This is, I'm doing a tour. I'm touring with Jason, but luckily, Marissa's here as well. Puppy sitting for me because Glacier is crazy pants over there.
She seems to have some energy, that's for sure.
Super excited about this tour though, because how long has this been in the works for?
We've been working on it for about a year.
I actually just found out it's for sale now. It's your spec van, I guess?
Yeah, we're still working on a couple things, changed some things, but we're listing it for sale on VanLife Trader. So it will be 100% officially for sale.
Super decked out adventure kit, adventure wagon kit, but also just an adventure van itself. And I'm gonna have Jason go over all the details from Off Grid Solutions right now. Is that good?
Cool.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Hey everybody, before the tour gets started, I'm gonna talk to you real quick about this company here. This is sponsored by Moonshade. Moonshade is a phenomenal product that a lot of van lifers use. Why I'm excited to get my hands on it, and I'm gonna open this up. I actually have not even opened it yet. Some of the key points that I really like about Moonshade is it is super portable. As you can see, it comes all in this pouch right here. Again, have not opened it. We're gonna open it right now for this couple minutes that I have here to talk about Moonshade. Now, I'm going to kind of show it on my van, which is right here, but you can use it pretty much in any aspect of camping, van life, bus life. You could have it in your backyard if you really wanted to. This is why I actually like the product as much as I do, because I feel like it is super versatile, super portable. People on my channel know that I put an order in for the ReLion, the all-electric pickup truck that I want to use as an adventure, you know, 1-day camping, 2-day camping, weekend camping, something like that. Moonshade would be something that is perfect for something like that, as well as anybody in the van life space, whether they want, you know, just a simple awning setup. They tell me that you can put up one of these in just a couple minutes, so we're gonna find out. Again, I've never opened this, I've never even constructed one myself. Awning solution for you to have in your van life. And boom, kind of. Couple things that I learned from this. The suction cups need to be obviously on a really good flat surface. For the video purposes, I just put it down here, but normally I would try to put it up on the roof. Reconfigure some things, but other than that, you guys can see that this is a really cool setup. The standing, you know, pillar thingamajiggies, those are actually adjustable, so you can actually go higher or lower. And then for wind, that does come with stakes, and it does come with tie downs. Keep it from flying all over the place. I have been wanting to work with Moonshade for a while now. Again, I love the versatility of it. I love the fabric of it. That's obviously the biggest concern is this a good fabric? But it from what I know, it is UV resistant. It is waterproof, obviously. Somebody that's definitely on more of a budget and doesn't want one of those high-end awnings that is retractable, or you also maybe don't want to see an awning up there. Something like a Moonshade is really nice. Again, it packs up in just that little bag that you saw at the beginning of this. Pretty much it fits right in with the whole ghost theme, because guess what? It's very stealthy. It's perfect for that. Go check out Moonshade, and I can't wait to actually incorporate more of their products, not just in the vans, but in the adventure market that I obviously am getting more into with the ReLion, and I have that overlanding Jeep before. So there's a whole bunch of things that Moonshade is really good for, not just vans. So back to the tour, let's go. It's been a while since you've been on my channel.
It has, man. We've been super busy, and it seems like we've been doing a lot of like smaller type jobs, a couple of adventure wagon installs. We've been getting a ton of those. Finally have a van that's worthy of showing you.
I mean, all your vans are pretty worthy of showing me, but I mean, this thing looks great, by the way.
Appreciate that.
Bought a 144 4x4?
Yeah, we saw that they were kind of getting hard to find. This was obviously about a little over a year ago. We needed one that we could keep around to design like our running boards off of, our roof rack that we designed, the ladder we designed, all the things that we needed. We needed one that the customer didn't necessarily like need back right now, that we could keep for a while. We bought this one, and it's at this point has about 400 miles on it. So this is the one it was at the Adventure Van Expo, and that's about all we've driven it.
What year is this then?
2020.
It's a 2020 4x4,
yep.
144.
Uh-huh.
And you just said that these are custom done by Off Grid Solutions.
Yep, we have a full fabrication shop. Pretty much only specialize in aluminum. All the framework in the whole van, everything's aluminum. The cab shelf's aluminum. Those are aluminum. We're trying to keep it as light as possible, never rust if it does get chipped, and keep it, you know,
Not just aluminum, you powder coated these.
We powder coated everything, yeah. And we powder coated the tracks even. We powder coated everything in here to match.
We're gonna get up on the roof later to show off the roof deck, if that's
Yeah.
okay. Jason and I are gonna step in and we're gonna talk about this right now.
Sure.
You did the 2 swivels here in the front?
Factory.
Factory?
Bought it that way. So if you notice, the seat bases are actually lower. So for the taller crowd, it really helps by not having to raise the seat any. It's actually pretty much where it would sit.
People are gonna look at this and they're gonna say, well, this is kind of a simple looking build.
That's been the problem with this. I hit everything so well.
You hit everything really well. And again, this is an adventure van. You can live out of this.
You could full-time out of it. It's got everything you need to, but it's definitely built around hauling gear, you know, and that's why we put the slide that you can strap so much to.
Which we're gonna get to in the back. I mean, that thing is massive, by the way.
one.
Go over this galley with me. This thing is impressive.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so,
this swings out.
Yep, that's our lagoon. It goes up and down and around, and we also put another one right here so you could actually use it outside. This is a 40-inch galley, and inside of it we've managed to fit all of the heating components. So as you scale back, you can see there's no water lines anywhere. The water tank's over here, outdoor showers out the back. All the heating system is actually in this compartment. So the whole Rixon is actually in the galley.
That was my next question. You talk a lot about heating. What is your heating system? You said Rixon.
This one's a Rixon. A bunch of really cool features. The one that I like the best is the engine loop. So while we're driving, we're actually generating hot water and hot air. And the second one that I really like is if we were at a campground, we could plug this thing in and it would make hot water and air without firing up the diesel furnace at all. So if you were in a campground, you don't have to be smoking out your neighbor to get hot water and air. So that's the Rixon Comfort Hot, and that's in there as well. It's a little glycol tank with the heater in it.
So the Rixon system is a hydronic system, I believe? Okay,
It's
so
all run off an S-bar.
I've been ripping people apart on my Instagram page. Nothing wrong with an S-bar under seat heater.
An air heater, right?
An air top heater. Thank you.
Exactly.
But I always say that the S-bar air top is probably the third best on the market, behind the Rixon, behind the Elwell, and behind the VLT.
Yeah, anytime if you're going to make hot water, if your plan is to make hot water, there's no point in wasting the electricity and the diesel on something that's only going to make hot air, because electrically you can't do it. It's really tough to make hot water with like a Bosch electric hot water tank.
You can,
but it just takes so much juice.
It's like 1,300 watts, I believe.
And if it's cold outside and your water's cold coming in, it's way harder. So like in SoCal, in the middle of summer, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if the water going in is, say, 70 degrees.
Right.
The water going in is 40 degrees. That thing has to work super hard. If you're thinking about going that route, to put everything in one that gets the same consumption power-wise, the same consumption fuel-wise, and will do water and air and everything, it's kind of a no-brainer, right?
Every time I do a video with you, I feel like we go so technical. But it's great. Like, I think everybody needs to know this.
There's so many people building their own vans, and that's not necessarily our customer, but if we can help not have a barbecue on the side of the road, like,
yeah,
it's worth it.
Or if you're shopping around for a van builder, these are the good questions to ask. What are you using for heater? How are you going to be doing it? Why are you doing it that way? So again, these are things that people should learn by. I want to talk about this design because I love it. I did it with my Jeep Gladiator.
You did? Frame bamboo?
We did it almost at the same time. You and I were both working on the same time. Talk to me about it, because you said you have an in-house fabricator. So this is powder-coated aluminum.
Correct. Yeah, all the frames, everything, every single frame is powder-coated aluminum. 1/8 inch thick, 1x1 square tube that we weld in-house. So we have a full fabrication shop.
So this is not like an 80/20 kit.
It's not 80/20. It's a heck of a lot lighter than 80/20. 80/20 actually starts packing on weight pretty quick when you start bolting the pieces together.
I'm going to open this up if that's
Yeah.
okay. Look at that. That's cool.
And the boys definitely take pride. Jay and Casey, they kill it, man. They
Are you building your own galleys now?
we do the galley frame itself when we work with a woodworker here in town, Dane Woodworking, and he takes care of the countertop. He takes care of any of the, like our drop-in cover and stuff like that.
Yeah, take that off. Look at that, man. That thing is sweet.
Yeah, he does a really good job. Dadoes it real nice, seals it up. Nice deep Zune sink that we put in here too, so you can actually store things in there when you're not using it. It's kind of what we were thinking.
Zune?
Did
you call it a Zune?
Zune.
You have a lot of contraptions going on over here. I know what the inverter is. We can talk about it if you'd like.
And we get a lot of this.
You love your
man.
S-Pod.
Every time we do a video, people are like, oh, the S-Pod. And we pretty much, if you're doing more than 2 switches in your van and you're buying a power system from us, we pretty much recommend this every time. So you can see we've got all the exterior
Say what it is
lights.
again, just in case we didn't.
This is called an S-Pod.
S-Pod.
And what it is just a switching unit. It's pretty much a board that has relays built in it, because you can't just power up like a 50-inch light bar off a small little toggle switch, because the thing will smoke. it's not meant to pass the amperage through. So without having to wire up all these relays and stuff, now I have 8 circuits that are fully programmable, dimmable. Say you're in bed, right, and something happens, you can light up all the light bars outside, check the window from your phone, boom, boom, you're done. Also, I have a secondary screen, see it up on the window there?
Oh, right over here, yeah.
Yep, that is full control.
You might be able to see Marissa running with my dog out there.
That's been like an hour straight.
Yeah.
She's not giving up. But now I can control everything on the rack from there too. You can have multiple screens. We can do up to 32 circuits on one S-Pod system. The ambulance, you remember, we ran everything off 2 of them. This guy is what I was talking about. That's the Rixon control. That's their proprietary control. It's got the thermostat. If I want hot water, I poke this button and then I tell it how I want it. Either furnace, which means it's going to kick on and use the diesel. Electric, if we're plugged in, hit the engine button, it cycles a pump. There's actually a separate heat exchanger. So we're not mixing the glycol from this unit and the glycol from the van.
Gotcha.
It's a separate heat plate. This goes through, it heats it. This goes through and heats this. They're 2 separate units.
For people that don't understand what glycol is, it's an antifreeze.
It's an antifreeze, right?
Yeah, which is, I don't know if the vans are running off of glycol, but it's very similar.
It's a different kind. It's the stuff that we use inside wouldn't make you deathly ill. It would just taste bad. So that way we don't mix those 2 systems. So.
And obviously just the Max Air fan remote.
Yep, and then this is our Kotek controller for, like, we got your battery charging down there.
Yeah, we actually got my camera battery. Thank you.
So that's when we want to do, induction cooking or whatever. And so I looked at this one.
Oh, look at
got
you.
The little induction cooktop.
Now you also just told me, you said this is up for sale, but you also said you're including that. That's part of it.
We want it to where literally you can hop in it and go bring your clothes. Someone could fly in, hop in it, put whatever they want in that fridge, use it tonight. So the bed and everything's included. It's 3 pieces. Because this is the Moab bed. It raises and lowers as much as you want. You can put it wherever you want. It's
Moab
pieces
from
Adventure
Wagon. So that's you have the Adventure Wagon kit in here, and the Moab goes up and down on that piece over there.
Correct. If you did have to like haul something fairly tall to get where you're going, you could raise this up all the way to the cabinets, put whatever in here, do your thing, get to where you're going, lower the bed back down.
You mentioned the fridge. What's the it's a Dometic, but what do you got?
This is a 65 with the freezer.
Oh wow.
And it actually works really well.
Yeah.
It seems really small, but we've packed so much stuff in it that I was like, that when you have the cooler fridge, we notice everything gets buried on the bottom. Like,
did you do a shakedown?
Huh?
Did you do a shakedown with Frank? This is Frank, by the way, everybody.
So we took it to the adventure show and we stayed in it, but we're gonna take it up to Bachelor.
Nice.
And we're gonna get some snow photos and stuff, and actually, really shake it down.
Before we go to the upper cabinets, I noticed you did something really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this done. You did a double lagoon mount.
Right, because we wanted more swing. We wanted it to be able to be used as as you have it here, like a whole prep table thing, right? So we can have the whole prep table thing, but also I can lower it down a long ways from here, and then that way it'll still grab, because that's always the thing with the lagoon tables, is that once you lower this past where it goes, there's no clamping force anymore.
Right. So pretty much where I'm sitting, which is the passenger swivel, somebody can sit in the driver's swivel and boom, this is your table.
Correct. Yeah, that pretty much goes in between both the and out here too. It drops straight down and sits out here and swivels around. There's a power plug right here, so you can cook with induction
outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's your table.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
That's so awesome.
So everything kind of we're always trying to use one thing for more than one thing. We should be able to use it for 3 things in a van.
I asked you, I was like, is that Velcroed? And that doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Who does your upholstery, dude?
His name's Logan, and he does a fantastic job. If you wanted to look here, all of the...
Oh, wow.
Everything's all interweave to match. These covers come off. It's super burly. We really tried to go the extra mile to make it,
You use a marathon weave, seems like, right?
Yep.
On your walls here.
We direct wrapped all this, so anytime you can take the metal and turn it into like a fabric surface, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
The cold, you know what I mean, and the heat transfer. Check this out, dude.
We're gonna get real quiet on everybody.
So
that
this
big window, it looks gorgeous.
And we have Simon from Van Made Gear, of course. We have all of the...
I mean, who doesn't love Simon?
Gosh, man, his stuff is just so nice.
It's so good. What do you think's in my Econoline right now?
It better be his stuff.
It is his stuff, I know, right? No, if it wasn't. You went with a plaid. I love the orange and gray tone with the aesthetic of everything else. What was your reasoning behind that? Just what I just said, or?
We wanted something Northwest.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't want to do Pendleton. Everybody goes to Pendleton. I didn't want to do Pendleton. I wanted something that said it was us, not them. and I ended up with this plaid.
I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks really, really well done. Upper cabinets, and I'm gonna get a shot from this side right here that's on an angle. That is not a right angle.
Now look at this angle. If this was up next to it, they're mirrored.
Why is that special?
They do this to create more space too, right? Like you can tell it opens up where your shoulders are now if these were further out. So it gives it like a more open feeling. That's the same reason they do it in airlines and stuff too, right? You notice all their stuff's always kind of kicked out like that. But we were able to use everything. So we didn't do a top, we didn't do a back. So we made it as light as we could. It bolts right in.
Bolts right into the track.
Bolts right in wherever you want it. You can take these 4
So this
studs
whole
and
thing's
put them wherever you
removable?
want. Yeah.
Or each one is?
Yep. Like earlier, this one was over here actually. So we put this one over here.
To just make it aesthetically. Yeah.
What it looked like we're all hard on one side. So why we really came out with this was because cooking and pulling stuff out of here if your hands are greasy.
Oh.
Right? Like you're gonna destroy this thing. You'd have to wipe your hands down every time. So we wanted something that we could wipe down. And right now we're working on 12-inch bags. So they'd be little boxes, and this one would have 3 of them, this one would have 4 of them, and then you can pull the bag down. It'll have the same grippy stuff off the bottom. And even today, like I just went to Adventure Wagon, and I gave them one of these to play with.
Oh.
So they're actually going to have one in their van that they can play with, put their hands on. They seem to really like them too. So we're hoping that we can put something together where with your kit you'd be able to essentially order one of these as well.
So you made these, but that over there, the soft one, is an Adventure Wagon.
This one's all Adventure Wagon, yep. And that was the biggest thing. We put this one up, and we didn't want our cabinet to stick out to here and have like a hard banging point, right?
Right.
So that it made the need that we had to do something, and we are working on the transit right now as well, which is really cool. So we'll have one for both that'll bolt right in next to their bag, look like it's supposed to be there, and work great.
Looks like a queen, if I'm not correct. Maybe a little bit bigger.
Inches. It goes all the way to the door. It's huge.
It is huge.
It's massive.
Obviously, 2 can sleep in here quite comfortably. And then if people are worried about banging their heads, guess what, guys? This is all removable.
Everything's removable, and you can also, right now we're set for mountain bikes, so I could drop this bed another couple inches if I really wanted to, but right now bikes will go in here perfect, and then you can have room for gear over here to be strapped in.
Also, one of your specialties is what's in the back doors back there, which is upgrade audio.
Mandatory in a Sprinter. I don't know if you haven't owned a Sprinter, you don't own a Sprinter, you don't understand, but if you do, then you understand. So we pull the factory head unit out, but we utilize it. We put a 100-watt amp behind the head unit, and then we put an 8-inch powered sub, so it's a 300-watt subwoofer under the seat, Alpine speakers down below and up top in the dash, and in the back doors as well. So
can you run your radio without having the engine on?
So we have like a good, better, and best, right,
okay,
of stereo packaging, and essentially our high-end stereo package has a Bluetooth amplifier that I can make that happen, but generally you can't really get around it because that head unit, if it's on, it's consuming starter battery power. So now we have a way, yes, to do it.
Okay.
Where you flip a switch, you pair it to your phone, you can jam all night, it's all ran off the lithium. You hit the key, it powers up a relay, it kicks on the amp, it'll play whatever's off that head unit. So I have a way to do it, but it's definitely our high-end system.
And you just talked about it, your power system in this. One of your specialties is power. You build, I don't know how many boxes per week, per month.
We did 45 last year.
45 boxes.
45 power systems. Generally, they're 4 battery at least.
I was going to say you range from 2 to 6. But yeah, you build a lot of kits for people. What is in here, man?
This one is 420 amp hours of lithium with, we've got a 3,000 watt inverter. Up top, I've got a 400 watt panel, and then 30 amps of DC-DC.
Plenty of power for what's in here.
It's a ripper, yeah. I mean, this thing, even right now, it's not even utilizing solar because of how full the batteries are. So.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Everybody's number one question. I always forget about it because it doesn't bother me. There's a toilet, everybody.
And then plenty of toiletry storage underneath. So yeah, we got another like 4 or 5 inches over there, and then again that translates into this side. So you have a ton more storage over here as well. So
there's everybody's toilet for everybody that's worried about toiletries and that kind of stuff. You've got everything in it. You've got a good heater, airflow. You've got a refrigerator. You've got a toilet.
Four-wheel drive.
A 4x4 is essential. People are going to ask about the shower, but I believe that's in the back.
It's in the back, yep. And that was the other thing that I don't think you mentioned at all. That overhead cab shelf is one that we built.
As part of Off Grid Solutions, what you offer, I guess.
It's aluminum, so it's part of our aluminum fabrication department.
You're very proud of this one. I'll show it right now.
I do like it a lot.
Because you have it's a little bit different design than what everybody else has been doing it.
right?
We tried to give you an actual hole to put stuff in right there,
Yeah.
and then you can slide it over and put, obviously most of the time everyone's putting soft objects up there, but having a little more room to put bigger things.
So let's go to the back now. Let's go to the outside. Let me ask you this, Jay. Are you selling just, you know, your steps and your roof racks?
Yes, but most the biggest like problem is shipping right now. Shipping is crazy. So we are installing them. We're not shipping them. It's tough. It's tough. They arrive damaged and stuff like that. They're too big. It's too heavy.
Okay.
We're not shipping them. But if you want a set,
Local.
we build them, and we build them all custom because not everyone wants like the full bar that goes all the way back. Some people want just the stubby step. Some people will have a ladder. Some people don't have a ladder. So there's not really just one that works for everyone.
Right.
So all of our stuff's custom. It just makes sense because every van is different. They're kind of hard on tires, and these tires just put up with it.
Did you put a lift, or is that the factory?
Factory four-wheel drive. We did lift the back with the Van Compass Add-A-Leaf.
Is this your system?
No,
So did you buy? Oh, you bought this off of Luminous, it looks like.
So when we bought it from Freightliner here in town. They're no longer in business, unfortunately. They bought a ton of Luminous stuff. The vans were almost impossible to get, so they were putting stuff on everyone. So if you wanted to buy one of their vans, you had to buy the roof rack, I had to buy the ladder, and I had to buy the box, or I couldn't buy the van. It was already a deal. I was like, that's fine. So we actually took the roof rack and sold it to the big white van. You remember Johann's van?
Yep, Johann.
So it's on that van now. We cut a hole in it, modified it, put it up there. He's got a walkable solar panel.
Yeah.
So it worked out for everyone, but we were able to design our roof rack on this van.
Again, the van made gear, you know, windows.
Coming in.
Looks great. This is weird to me. You got water over here, electrical on this side, but then you have a shower right there.
Yeah.
So how the heck did you get? Yeah.
So water gets plumbed underneath because we have a 1-inch piece of polyiso underneath for insulation. So it gets plumbed straight underneath. It actually goes in behind the wall and shoots all the way up in behind the power system through the wall and pops out in the galley.
That is
So
some
that's what I'm
custom work.
We act like it's no one can really see what's going on, and we noticed that at the show that all the builders were like, wow, that's really clean, that's pretty cool, and a lot of customers were like, yeah, it's clean, you know, but without actually knowing what's in that box and how much is in that box.
It's crazy.
We put a lot of stuff in it,
It's
but
crazy.
it just looks so simple and clean, you know.
Speaking of crazy good, let's what's going on with this guy? This is one of your prides and joy.
We built a big old slide.
Did you say it was a 56?
Yeah, check this thing out, dude.
56-inch, you know, heavy-duty slide.
Because now I can actually like get the bike off the thing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it comes with all this gear already. The coin floor, really durable.
It'll be set up for 4 bikes.
Wow. And did your fabricator make all that?
Everything. Yep. All aluminum track. Notice it's not wood. Everybody else is doing wood.
Interesting.
There's no wood on this slide. It's all metal, and it's screw bolted through the floor of the van.
Yeah, and I was about to say you didn't attach it to your 2 boxes. You attached it to the floor.
And those boxes still come out the way it is.
And those are removable. Great.
Correct. 2 bolts up top, and it can come right out for serviceability.
Wow.
So that's the cool thing with using the Adventure Wagon kit. Everything can be stripped out of this van in about an hour. I can pull everything out of this van.
That's crazy. Well, maybe with the hand of somebody else.
Yeah, well, a couple people.
But
no, like the bed's like 15 minutes. The cabinets come out in about 5, and these are only 2 bolts slided out. I mean, it comes apart super quick. Essentially, what you do, you push this in here like this. You take the box off, you set the box on this, and then you pull it out like this, and then you grab the box and you walk away with it. It's
That's
great.
actually smart right there.
That's what we did.
Guys, these knobs right here are actually made for the access to them.
Yeah, and these ones are a little long-winded right now, so we're going to find some shorter ones, but essentially we hid the water fill and everything. We hid the hose and everything in this compartment. So
that's where the water fill is?
Yep, this is the water fill, and this is the shower nozzle itself. So you notice there's a quick connect on that side.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, so I have the hose and everything in here on the water side. I wasn't going to put it back in the power. Right?
So if you just want to and it's great for washing off your bikes, washing off a doggy, you know, washing yourself off, I guess. This is everything.
Oh, the hose is actually at the shop. I didn't put it in there, but the hose stores right here.
You fail me. Yeah.
I failed myself. But the hose stores right here, and this is your fill. Less moving parts, less rattles. Like, I'm trying to eliminate that, you know. Things that will fall apart with vibration and stuff like that is really what we're trying to...
Think we should get on the roof?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's another ladder. There's 2 ladders.
There's 2 ladders.
Now this is your ladder you guys made.
Yep, we made this one.
And I'll climb up. We are up here. It looks like this is a Shishugi bond.
It's need a little oil right now, it looks like, but that's one thing that we wanted to do right before someone picks it up, is make it look all fresh.
You were standing on this thing the other time. Oh Jesus, that scares the crap out of me. So I'm also going to advise everybody, do not do that yourself. Make sure. And the reason I say that is because you put special stuff underneath this.
There's a lot of aluminum underneath this panel that you can't see. Correct.
You and Marissa wanted to sleep up here with sleeping bags. You absolutely could.
No problem. And there's no, when you're sleeping on it too, it's nice because there's no imperfections, there's no grates, there's no little round circles that end up in your butt, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a nice smooth surface, so it feels really nice.
400 watts. I mean, this thing is baller.
400 watts, then you got your Fiamma as well.
I never go over pricing with builders, at least, because you're a builder. But if you want to say what your listing price is, you can.
We're gonna ask $189 for it, and we definitely feel in the market right now, watching people sell an empty van for $85,000, $90,000, that for a $100,000 build, you're probably not gonna find one that's
so
comparable.
technically this is about a $100,000 build, which is not a lot, to be honest with you.
It's not really though, because we couldn't do it for that again. Right? But
There's no way.
We bought the van for a lot less. So we were in the van good when we bought it. It was a good time.
So you're giving a deal because you got a deal.
Yeah, and I want somebody to have it and enjoy it and get it out there, and hopefully someone that takes pictures would be cool, that they can get out in some spots and, you know, get
and give Off Grid Solutions a little taggy tag.
Yeah, we like that, you know.
We're gonna end the video here, but we can see Marissa and Glacier playing in the dog park. This is fantastic. I get to see my pup not being crazy with me. Glacier! Hi, sweetie. Oh my, she hears my voice. Jason, thanks again, buddy. Give you a you know, your business a shout out again, even though I've said it like 95 times.
Off Grid Solutions PDX. We're on Instagram at Off Grid Solutions PDX, and you should see this van on VanLife Trader over the next couple days. So
hey,
get some pictures.
You're about to join me on VanLife Trader, but
that's fine. That's where it needs to go. It's ready to go to someone.
I'd love to see this on somebody's good hands that wants to see adventure with it, more importantly than anything.
Yeah, it needs to be used. That's the biggest thing. It's kind of breaking our heart because we know every time you use it, you're going to risk, you know, messing it up, and we want to give it to someone while it's still brand new looking. You know what I mean?
Well, thanks again, Jay. We'll talk to you soon, pal.
Cheers.